When disaster strikes, your survival instincts kick in. You need a plan. It's not just about reacting in the moment, it's about being prepared well in advance. Having a solid emergency plan can make all the difference between chaos and calm. What are the absolute essentials? Food, water, and shelter. These three elements form the foundation of any emergency preparedness strategy. Without them, survival becomes a daunting challenge. These are non-negotiable. Without them, your ability to weather the storm is severely compromised. Imagine being caught in a situation where you have no access to food or water. The stress alone can be overwhelming, not to mention the physical toll it takes on your body. Shelter provides protection from the elements. Whether it's a sturdy building, a makeshift tent, or even a designated safe room in your home, having a secure place to stay is crucial. It shields you from harsh weather conditions, keeps you safe from potential hazards, and offers a sense of security in uncertain times. Water keeps you hydrated, a basic human need. The human body can survive for weeks without food, but only a few days without water. It's essential to store enough water to last at least a few days, if not longer. Consider having both bottled water and water purification methods in your emergency kit. And food? Food is fuel. It gives you the energy to think clearly and act decisively when it matters most. Non-perishable items like canned goods, energy bars, and dried fruits are excellent choices for your emergency food supply. They have a long shelf life and can provide the necessary nutrients to keep you going. It gives you the energy to think clearly and act decisively when it matters most. In an emergency, your mental and physical stamina are put to the test. Having a reliable source of food ensures that you can maintain your strength and focus, which are critical for making sound decisions and taking effective actions. During a power outage, your access to these essentials can be disrupted. Imagine a scenario where the power goes out for an extended period. Your refrigerator stops working and the food inside starts to spoil. Without electricity, you can't pump water from your well or use your electric stove to cook. This is where your emergency supplies come into play. Your usual sources of food and water might be unavailable. In the aftermath of a disaster, grocery stores may be closed and supply chains disrupted. Empty shelves and closed signs become a common sight. This is why having a well-stocked emergency kit is so important. It ensures that you have the essentials you need to survive, even when your usual sources are cut off. That's why it's crucial to be prepared. Preparation is not just about having the right supplies. It's also about having a plan and knowing what to do when disaster strikes. Regularly review and update your emergency plan, involve your family in the process, and make sure everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. Think of it like this. You wouldn't wait for a fire to buy a fire extinguisher, would you? The same logic applies to emergency preparedness. Don't wait for a disaster to start thinking about food, water, and shelter. Take action now to ensure that you and your loved ones are ready for whatever comes your way. Being prepared is not just a precaution, it's a necessity for survival. There's a common misconception that when the power goes out, everything in your refrigerator becomes a biohazard. This simply isn't true. In fact, with a little bit of planning and some quick thinking, you can save most of your food and avoid unnecessary waste. A full fridge can stay cold for up to 24 hours if you keep the door closed. The key is to resist the urge to open it frequently. Each time you open the door, you let out precious cold air, which shortens the time your food will stay safe. That's a full day to figure out your next move. Use this time to plan effectively. Think about what meals you can prepare with the ingredients you have and make a list of what needs to be consumed first. Don't start tossing out perfectly good food at the first sign of a blackout. Many items can last longer than you might think, especially if they are kept cool. Check expiration dates and use your senses to determine if something is still good. Instead, use this time wisely. Gather your family or housemates and discuss a plan. Make a list of the most perishable items and prioritize their consumption. This way, you can ensure that nothing goes to waste unnecessarily. Take stock of what you have. Inventory your pantry and fridge to get a clear picture of your food supplies. Knowing exactly what you have will help you make better decisions about what to eat first and what can wait. Prioritize consumption of perishable items. Foods like dairy, meat, and leftovers should be eaten first. Plan your meals around these items to ensure they are used up before they spoil. And most importantly, explore alternative ways to keep your remaining food cold. Use ice packs, coolers, or even dry ice if you have it. These can extend the life of your perishable items significantly. Remember, a little bit of preparation and smart thinking can go a long way in preserving your food during a power outage. Here's a preparedness tip they don't teach in school. A small refrigerator or chest freezer can be a lifesaver during a power outage. Why? Because they're more energy efficient than their larger counterparts, meaning they can run longer on backup power sources. Think of it as a strategic reserve for your most essential food items. Keep it stocked with things like bottled water, long-life milk, cheese, yogurt, eggs, and pre-cooked meals. Now, let's talk power. Power outages can be a real hassle, especially when it comes to keeping your food cold. Whether it's due to a storm, a grid failure, or some other unexpected event, losing electricity can put your perishable items at risk. But don't worry, there are several ways to ensure your mini fridge or freezer stays running even when the power goes out. During an outage, you need a way to keep that mini fridge or freezer running. The first step is to minimize the number of times you open the fridge or freezer door. Each time you open it, cold air escapes and the temperature inside rises. Keeping the door closed as much as possible will help maintain the cold temperature for a longer period. But what if the outage lasts longer than a few hours? That's when you need a backup power solution. Here are a few options. You can use inverters, generators, deep cycle batteries, or solar power to keep your appliances running. Each of these options has its own set of advantages and considerations. So let's take a closer look at each one. Inverters. These handy devices convert the DC power from your car battery into AC power, which your appliances can use. Inverters are relatively easy to use and can be a lifesaver in a pinch. Simply connect the inverter to your car battery, and then plug your fridge or freezer into the inverter. However, keep in mind that running your car battery for extended periods can drain it, so it's important to monitor the battery level and recharge it as needed. Generators. Gas-powered generators provide a reliable source of electricity, but they can be noisy and require fuel. Generators are a popular choice for backup power because they can supply a significant amount of electricity for an extended period. To use a generator, simply fill it with fuel, start it up, and connect your appliances. However, generators can be loud and produce exhaust fumes, so it's important to use them in a well-ventilated area and follow all safety guidelines. Batteries, deep cycle batteries like those used in RVs, can store a significant amount of power and can be charged via solar panels or a generator. These batteries are designed to provide a steady amount of power over a long period, making them ideal for keeping your fridge or freezer running during an outage. You can charge the batteries using solar panels or a generator and then use the stored power to run your appliances. This option is quieter and more environmentally friendly than using a gas-powered generator. Solar power. Portable solar panels offer a clean and renewable way to power your appliances, but their effectiveness depends on sunlight. Solar panels can be a great option if you live in an area with plenty of sunshine. Simply set up the panels in a sunny spot, connect them to a battery or directly to your appliances, and let the sun do the rest. While solar power is environmentally friendly and quiet, it may not be as reliable during cloudy or rainy weather. It's a good idea to have a backup plan in case the sun isn't shining. Efficiency is key. Chest freezers versus refrigerators. When it comes to energy efficiency, chest freezers have a clear advantage over refrigerators. Their design naturally traps cold air, keeping your food frozen for longer periods, even during a power outage. A well-insulated chest freezer can keep food safe for 2 to 4 days without power. Compare that to a refrigerator, which might only stay cold for a day at most. Power consumption. How much do you really need? To choose the right power source, you need to know how much energy your mini fridge or freezer uses. This information is usually found on the appliance's label or in the owner's manual. Look for the wattage rating. Multiply the wattage by the number of hours you expect to run the appliance each day to get the daily watt hours needed. For example, a 100-watt mini fridge running for 24 hours would require 2,400 watt hours. Setting up your system, from basic to advanced. You can set up your power system in various ways depending on your budget and needs. Here are a few options. Basic, a car battery connected to an inverter can provide temporary power for a small fridge or freezer. Intermediate, a deep cycle battery charged by a portable solar panel offers a more sustainable solution. Advanced, a permanently installed solar power system with battery backup can power your entire home during an outage. Beyond, emergencies. Everyday benefits. These power solutions aren't just for emergencies. They can also help you save money and reduce your environmental impact in everyday life. Consider using a solar panel to power your mini fridge during the summer months, reducing your reliance on the grid, or use your generator to run power tools for outdoor projects. Being prepared for a power outage isn't about living in fear. It's about taking control of your situation. By understanding the basics of food preservation, power sources, and energy efficiency, you can face any challenge with confidence. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, it can also help you keep your food fresh and your family fed when it matters most.